Hello, welcome back to my channel. So his hair just keeps sticking out and there's nothing I can do about it. Just bear with me on that. So today I decided to do my July going into August favorites because in like mid-July I started swapping over to different products just to try to use up what I have. I'm not doing like a project pan or anything, but I just want to kind of use up some of the stuff that I have because I've got new stuff and I feel like I have a lot going on here. So also you'll notice that I have been wearing more like fall type colors. So right now, even though it's summer, it's been like a solid 70 degrees. All right, so let's jump into the favorites. Like and subscribe if you feel like it. All right, let's go. So first, as far as face primer goes, I don't know why I opened it first. The e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer is my fave, and I think it will continue to be. Right now, I've been using a moisturizer, like a really expensive moisturizer. I wouldn't say really expensive, but it's definitely not in like the dollar store or not dollar store, drugstore price range. But it's a really good moisturizer, so I haven't really been having to double prime my face with a hydrating, like moisturizing primer and then using the poreless putty primer, because it's just like the moisturizer has been doing a really good job of like locking in that moisturizer to my face, so my face actually does feel really hydrated lately, which makes me very happy. So I'm gonna pull up my sleeves here and jump right in. So for my brows, I have still been using the Milani Stay Put brow color in dark brown. So this is by far my favorite ever brow product, and then it comes with this brush. Sorry, I dropped it. But it comes with this little brush, and it's like the perfect little angled brush for my super tiny, non-existent eyebrows. They're looking a little rough, but that's okay. So let's continue. What I've been doing lately as far as foundation goes, I've been using the Milani Conceal and Perfect and the Milani Soft Focus Glow. I've actually been mixing them together to not only make this shade a little make this shade a little bit darker, because, you know, it's my winter shade. Everyone has a winter and summer shade, right? Just take it on my sponge and start dabbing it in. Still a little light, but we can always fix that. For cream contour, I have been using the Makeup Revolution Fast Base Foundation Stick, and this is in the color F13. Now it is pretty dark, but I've been loving the way like cream contour has been making my skin look. Now the key with this to making it look nice, do not use a lot. Like, you may not think that this is enough, but it is by far enough. I might have even used too much. Let's blend it out. A lot of concealer on my face. You might be like, what the heck are you doing? But sometimes if like, ooh, I did not blend that out very well. Sometimes when I do my cream contour, I'll like go a little crazy with it and need to like touch up like over here to have some separation. So I will sometimes put some concealer there too, so like now I just look nuts. But this is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer, and this is in the shade Light Peach. All right, so I've also been loving the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder. So I have the shade 15 Light. So I just open it upside down, and it's all like right there in the lid. And as my powder puff, I have been using the Tati Beauty Blendiful. I love this thing like so much. I definitely use this every single day. There are other powder puffs out there that you can use that are definitely cheaper and they're smaller, so you just like, you have like a little band where you can like fit your 2 fingers, and they're just like round. Some of them are other shaped. I know Beauty Blender has like a little pointed angle powder puff, so it's like the same shape as this but just a lot smaller. Okay, so I finished powdering my face and got a phone call. So while I was on the phone call with my brother, I decided to do my eyebrows. So I just used this Makeup Revolution Reloaded Velvet Rose palette, and I just used this dark brown shade right here to go over my brows, because I'm sure you could tell that, you know, when I did my foundation I kind of screwed them up a little bit, but it's okay. I always go over them with a powder. I always set the pomade with a powder anyways. A lot of times I'll use like a bronzer to do it, but that brown eyeshadow is like the perfect shade for my brows, so I've been loving it. I'm using this one a lot lately because like I said, I've been getting into a lot of like fall colors. I know that this is like an ABH dupe for one of their palettes. I'm not sure which one. I don't own them because they're expensive, and I have a lot of eyeshadow palettes, so I feel like if I spend a lot of money on an eyeshadow palette, I have to use it like religiously. Just myself. I'm sitting on a pillow, but yeah, I feel like if I spend a lot of money on an eyeshadow palette, I have to use it religiously. Otherwise, like, what's the point? So if I were to venture into the high-end eyeshadow palettes, I probably would be like done with all of my drugstore palettes, if that makes sense. Like, you know, I would have to like start over. But I love my drugstore palettes, and I love that I have so many palettes that aren't a lot of money, so that if they expire and I can't use them, you know, like finish all the pans on them, because it's pretty much impossible. That's just how I feel. Okay, so I'm gonna go into this light brown shade right here, this really fluffy Morphe brush. So as far as like eyeshadow brushes go, I own a lot of Morphe ones. For the most part, I do own some dough color ones. Like, my dough color ones are really fun. This is a fan brush, but I got this fan brush as a gift on Amazon, and I bought the rest of the collection. So I really love them. I think they are really nice brushes. I think it was like $20 for the entire set on Amazon. And they have multiple colors too. I just went with the rainbow because I already had the rainbow fan brush, so I kind of wanted the rest of my brushes to match it. But I am going to go into like a little mix of these 2 browns right here, because one of them is a little bit more red toned than the other, so I just kind of even it out with the other one. And I'm just going to deepen up this outer corner and bring that up into my crease. But yeah, this is like the perfect fall palette. I know that a lot of their Reloaded palettes are either a lot of them or all of them are dupes for high-end palettes, and I have to admit, I love these palettes. I think they perform really well. I have used the ABH palettes before. I had the Subculture palette, you know, the one that was really powdery, before they fixed it. So I got one of those. I wasn't too impressed by it because it was just like fallout everywhere. I mean, everywhere. Like, every time I used that palette, it made a huge mess on my bathroom counter. So I didn't really like using it all that much. But I've used the Soft Glam palette. I've used the Modern Renaissance palette. I like them. I think they are really good. It's just the price point for me isn't where it's at. I'm going to go in with the NYX Glitter Glue. This is my favorite, like, eyeshadow primer on the planet. If you're just using a shimmer, you're going to get huge payoff by using the NYX Glitter Glue with it. But this is how I lazily cut my crease. And this is an e.l.f. concealer brush. So this is my favorite brush to cut creases with. And this is my lazy version of that. So I just kind of swipe it along like the bottom part of my eye, and then I very, very gently place it up here so I get the shape that I want. And then with the glitter glue, I just kind of very, very lightly swipe in like a tapping fashion on the outer part where I want it to blend into that darker color. And I do this step one eye at a time. So this is the Morphe flat pressed brush, packing brush, whatever you want to call it. So the e.l.f. concealer brush is just a slightly smaller version of this brush. And I'm going to go into this gold up here. Like I said, fall vibes. How many times are you going to see a brown smoky eye this year? I wonder. I wonder if the color scheme for like typical fall looks is going to change. Like if we're going to go away from brown, and if like the trend is going to be like burgundy or reds or plum. Like I know those are pretty big like fall colors in general, but typically when you see like my everyday fall look, it's brown smoky eye, okay, every time. So I wonder if it's going to be any different. So I just, after I packed it on the front of my lid to get it to blend to the outer half, again, just do those light swiping tapping motions and you'll get it to blend and be that gradient look flawlessly without having to go back into the other brush. I'm gonna take that same fluffy brush with those two darker colors that I mixed together, and I'm just gonna go along my lower lash line and smoke it out and connect it. Let me finish up the face before I finish the eyes because, you know, I like to do that. So for bronzer, I always get so much crap from my family because I do this and I've done this my whole life, but see this clearance sticker? This was $1.61. Okay. This is $3.55 coconut. Do you see this? This is not my foundation color, but it is such a good bronzer. And the reason why I love using it, it's that perfect like warmth to the face. It's a face powder, so it blends like a freaking dream. You don't get like patches. Like I'm saying, if you have really light skin like me, it's a good way to get like a cheap bronzer. I saw it on clearance and like everyone raves about the Maybelline Fit Me line. So this is what I've been using as my bronzer, and I have really been liking it because it just melts into my skin. And I was actually going to like go into eyeliner and stuff, but I don't feel like it quite yet. So this is the Colourpop Meteor Rite blush. You know, I bought this whole collection because I felt like it. This one actually, it comes with like a tiny little mirror in it, so I appreciate that. But this is like a warm terracotta, I want to say is the description that they use to describe it. It's like a warm terracotta blush. I just think that it makes for like a good like natural-ish looking blush. But I'm gonna go in with this Morphe brush. Another Wet n Wild brush I like to use for highlighting depending on what I'm doing, and also this dough color brush I really love using for highlighting. I just like the big, more concentrated brushes for highlight. And I'm going to jump in with the Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighting powder, and this is in Golden Flower Crown. So it's like a pretty like gold shimmery, and so I just kind of go back and forth and pick up some product on the brush here and just pop it right on my cheeks, and then go a little bit up. Just put like whatever's left on the tip of my nose, and then I also highlight my upper lip like so. The Essence Super Precise eyeliner, this is like my go-to liquid liner. I love the Colourpop BFF liquid liners because they work really nicely too. But this, I think, will always be my favorite eyeliner. It doesn't fade, or like the black doesn't lessen throughout the day. You know how sometimes when you like put it on and it's still wet and it looks like this deep, beautiful black, and then, you know, throughout the day it just gets less black. I don't have that problem with this one. Okay, lashes. My favorite lash glue is never going to change. It is always going to be the Eyelure London 18-hour lash glue. It's clear, it's latex free, it's cruelty free, all that fun stuff. But I have been loving the Ardelle, well, I put them in the box upside down, the Ardelle Faux Mink 817s. These, I got them, I unboxed them with you guys, and they're so good. They're so good. So for mascara, I have been using the Urban Decay Perversion mascara because I need to use it. I paid money for it. My Lash Princess is finally dry and clumpy. This is what I've been doing for my lips recently because I really like it. There's two different shades that I use. As far as a nude, I do use like a darker, like brownie type nude, and that's a KVD. I believe it's in the color Bow and Arrow. Yeah, it is in the color Bow and Arrow, but that is in my purse right now because I wore it yesterday. So I usually take my lipstick with me when I leave the house because it's like the one thing I actually need to touch up. But the lip liner that I used is the Colourpop Lippie pencil in the color BFF, and the lipstick I used is the e.l.f. Seriously Satin in the color Cream, which to me is like a perfect nude. But I color in my whole lips with the lip liner, and then I go over it with the lipstick that I am choosing to wear. So I still kind of have that little bit of like that darker nude that the lip liner is because it's a little bit darker than the lipstick. And then I just put the lipstick on over it, and I think it looks really, really nice. Now for setting spray. So I use the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist because I'm trying to use this up, and it's almost gone. Okay, now it is empty. I've been going over it with like one little layer of the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist in Saweet Peach. Why, you ask? Because I like to smell like peaches. Alright guys, well that is all of my favorites. I will have everything listed in the description box below. Everything that I have bought here you can get at Ulta. Some of it I got, some of the stuff that I got for clearance I got at Walmart or Target because they were cycling out their packaging, but the product is still really, really nice. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in my next one.